So, thank you, Mickey, for joining us today. We are super excited to have you here with us, and we are very keen to learn that in this AI phase of sales enablement, how are companies, how are innovators driving real results on the ground?
Thank you, Sanchit. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be with you. We have been using the AI tools in our sales productivity for some time, and we are one of your first customer with Zime. So we had some very good experiences so far. Happy to share those with you.
Yes, first customer is always the most favorite one. So thank you, Mickey, for giving us the chance. And Mickey, give us some background about you. I'm of course founder at Zyme, but you are the guest. So maybe talk more about your background.
So I am Forbes Business Development Council member. I am also a experienced sales enablement and sales growth leader in the Bay Area, Silicon Valley, in the technology sector. And I have led this role for various companies in last, I'll say, 15 to 20 years here in Bay Area. Currently, I am the global head of sales enablement at Versa Networks, which is a cybersecurity company. And before that, I was with another cybersecurity company called Cloudflare, where I had the same role and led that company to success, full IPO. And before that, I was part of the Cisco organization, which I came from a acquisition of a IoT Internet of Things company. And I've done various other companies like Ariba, SAP, or various medical device companies like Siemens and others. All similar role, sales enablement and sales growth, sales strategy. It's been a fun ride.
It is. I think you are one of the first few sales enablement leaders in the Bay Area who have seen it all. From sales enablement starting from day one over the
Yeah.
last 2 decades and evolving to a very AI focused.
Yeah, it started as calling sales training in the beginning, right, which was a very event-based methodology, then moved into sales enablement, then training became off word, and then we started using the word enablement. Now it's AI-assisted sales enablement. So that's where we are today.
Okay, we are keen to hear your experience and how you see the enablement function evolving today. But let's start with some on-ground reality. Give us what were the common challenges you've seen, Cloudflare, Versa Networks face.
So I think the challenges are very common in the sales. As a lot of them are more common than you think they are, regardless what industry you're in. Everybody's focused on developing a pipeline. Everybody wants to convert that pipeline as fast as possible. So focus primarily and centers around the early stage conversion and sales productivity. And the biggest thing is visibility. A lot of times, many people in an organization need to know how the sales motion is going. So if marketing needs to know how the products are being perceived, what the customers are saying, what the competitors are saying about us, and what the customers feel about us or competitors. In the same time, product needs to know about the similar information. Sales leaders need to know the same information from a different angle. Various marketing functions such as product marketing or demand gen needs to also look at the information. So, and maybe the senior leadership will also need to know how things are progressing. So visibility is very important. So for us, having a single source of truth, which is backed by data-driven information that is captured from the real conversation with the customer, and then coming off with action-based suggestion coming from the system. So those are some of the primary concerns for every organization, and we all exactly same challenges.
Amazing. So it's visibility, single source of truth. And what are these challenges lie in the enablement bucket, right? Like when you go and present yourself to the board or so on, like what are the challenges and what are the KPIs you are focused on?
So one of the things is that every company uses a sales methodology,
Yeah.
which governs the sales process, whether it's a challenger, whether it's a Sandler, or value-based selling, solution-based selling, or medic or medpick. Medic is more common these days with the large enterprise deals where we are. And this is typically either a checklist of things that people check off, or it is basically a compliance check of some kind, but it's not really always converts into the execution on the ground. So how do you know if you have implemented a methodology? How's that being executed? So that was one of the biggest challenge for us in terms of, are they using the medic or medpick? How are we doing as a company? How's each region doing? How's each sales rep productive on these things? So those are some of the things that if we can capture that automatically, and this is where the challenges come in, because standard template based AI tools are not able to customize to every company's unique business process.
Understood. So on the field, actions, behaviors are important. And it's important to understand your custom nuances of your sales process. Give me some example, like what do you mean by like custom ideas? Because Medic is a general methodology, right?
It's very common methodology, and it's basically built on the very common ground called BANT.
Yeah.
BANT was started in 1979 by IBM as a
Yes.
qualification criteria. And that expanded and it was expanded by various different methodologies like Medic or others. And Medic expanded and it's more popular these days because it caters for the large enterprise sales because it's longer sales cycle, multiple stakeholders. And so the double D and the D comes from the decision making, decision process. This is where it comes in. So this is for some of the common challenges we face, that how you enable the sales reps to understand the process, follow up in the customer calls. When you're having a conversation with a customer, you don't want the sales rep to be writing notes to make sure you have all the medic checklists completed. You want to
Yes.
automate that process as much as possible so that the AI can be used here to look into the conversation, and from there define whether we're able to be in compliance with that. For example, do we know customer needs? What is the current tech stack the customer is using? Who are the competitors against you? What is the consequences of not doing anything with the current situation? And also, did we identify a champion? Medic is big thing on champion, so we look into that very carefully. And also, biggest thing is, what are the timeline? Sales rep talk to customer, everything looks perfect. Everything is like customer is engaged, the need is mapping to solution, the customer's response is positive, but if timelines are missing, you don't know when that event is going to happen. It may be 3 years down the road.
Yes.
So the result of that happens is that those deals stay in the qualifier stage forever because there's infinite time period for the timeline. So we track timelines very carefully, and with the help of Zime, we've been able to do that and highlight that, educate our sales reps to make sure that that is captured. So that is one of the reasons why we have been able to shorten some of the time of conversion from the MQL stage to a meeting and from meeting to a qualified opportunity.
100%. I've heard so many sales leaders talk about early stage, the deal is not progressing. And for Versa, it was about timelines being discovered properly. And of course, that's what moved the needle on the early stage deals.
And it's actually a very common theme, more common than you think it is.
Yeah.
There is that healthy tension that exists between sales and marketing, especially demand gen. Very common theme you will find in every company. Sales will say, we need more pipeline. Whatever our pipeline they have is not enough. We want more. Of course, every sales rep need more pipeline. It's a very genuine ask, right? On the same time, if the demand gen team is asking, okay, sure, we'll give you more pipeline, but what happened to the leads we gave you last month or last quarter or last 6 months? Have you been able to convert? What's your conversion rate? So that healthy tension is very useful sometimes if channeled correctly to improve the productivity of the company, of the sales motion as a whole, improve the pipeline, improve the quality of the leads that are coming in, improve the quality of the first meeting, or we call discovery call, and at the same time having to qualify those opportunities faster and quicker.
And what was so hard about timelines, Mickey? Like, give me an idea. You said it's hard to customize AI tools, right? So, what was unique about Versa that you were trying to get in timelines?
So Versa is a very unique case. We are in the field of cybersecurity, and we also in the field of networking. And we have networking solutions and we have cybersecurity solutions. And overall, 20 plus products that a sales rep needs to know about that. And then each of these products have a different sales cycle. Some that require hardware or network appliances or a large infrastructure changes that customer, the sales cycle is typically longer. While if you have something that is a cloud-based solution, the solution could be, a sales cycle could be much shorter that way. So there are unique processes on that one. So we needed an AI tool that can be customized to fit into this and customize the entire process based on our buyer's journey and unique to our buyer's journey, because every company on the surface looks the same. If you look at the sales stages in the sales force, they all look exactly the same, but you scratch the surface, every company has done some unique customization. They have unique buyer's journey that And if the AI tool is not able to mold to that, that's a challenge. You don't want AI tool that changes your process that has been working for you as a company. You want an AI tool that molds into your process and complements it with the AI driven intelligence.
Understood. So that's a great point, Mickey, because on the surface, everything looks the same. Every company looks like Medic. But once you scratch the surface and go a step down, you see there are nuances that make you win. Like your early stage win rate depends on timeline that is different for every product line. And to be able to capture that, help reps drive that, that nuance is the deal breaker for Versa.
And there are so many AI tools in the market today, right? It's all different kinds. There are small companies offshore that are trying to offer a solution to the US-based customers. There are existing sales productivity companies such as Salesforce or People.ai or others, or Gong, for example. They all want to jump into this. They want to say, we have AI too, right? So what really happens is that it's very confusing message. And if you look at the marketing, messaging, and positioning of these companies, they almost sound alike. So this is where it becomes challenge for the enterprise customer to pick up the right tool. And I have three-step process. And number one, I look for the company that is willing to listen to our process and us and understand how we sell, what our buyer journey is, and then molds the AI tools around it and learns from that buyer journey and continue to learn it and build AI model that is progressive and continue to learn more every day from every call. What we don't want is a solution that is template based. And I've had companies come to me and say, we have template for Medic and we can implement that for you. And I looked at the template, it's very basic template, a checklist. And then if you want to customize it, well, we don't. If you do, there will be professional services cost on top of it additional, and then you'll need additional service to maintain it cost. And typically the idea is these are best practice, Mr. Customer. You should change your process to meet the best practices. And I didn't want to do that. We wanted to do other way around because we know how we sell our product. And I don't want a methodology company or productive company to tell me how to change our process. So I think, of course, we can always improve on processes. And no process is perfect. We always look into gaps and improve on it, right? But to overall change a process based on a tool doesn't seem to be the right answer.
I think that's your years of experience. That tool should work for you, not you should work for the tool.
Exactly.
Mickey, now that's your buying criteria, right? How you decide what to buy. What about the implementation? Because sometimes we all buy fancy tools and then it's a graveyard of tools without adoption.
So a couple of things. I've used tools before, which does record the conversation, meeting conversations, and you have like hundreds and thousands of these calls. I call them graveyard of calls, right? Because there is no actionable item coming out of it. There's no insights coming out of it. There is a lot of data, but there is no analysis of that from and giving a suggestions or recommendation to improve the sales productivity. And that's one of the things we look for when we're looking for implementation, because these AI tools are like blank sheet of paper. They may have a structure, they have a model, but the model only get better if you provide them and configure them correctly. So it's very important for the enterprise organization that buys the sales productivity AI tools to work very closely with the tool and mold it to your process and make that AI model much smarter and more customized to your needs specifically. Otherwise, the tool will only give you what you enter, garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, I think Versa Networks and some, HP or Dell, they're all very different companies with different GTM. You
Totally.
can't have same insights on all of them. You need to understand what's your nuances, what's making you win. And Mickey, that's more about the call recording side, right? Talk a bit about the LMS side. You of course had an LMS for a long time. And how do you see the adoption of best practices on the field with LMS, or you don't see them?
So the LMS, you mean learning management system, right? So typically, an organization, sales organization, have two tools they use. One is called content management system or CMS. That's where the customer-facing sales content resides. The other is the learning management system, where you are educating the sales reps, new hires, or tenured reps on best practice. Now, you can educate them in a boot camp and get them all started, get them out of the field. Then after that, how do you know they are doing, and how they're executing on this in the field. So that visibility is very important. So what we did in Zime, we built it a very customized checklist. And that checklist is a combination of MEDIC sales methodology and our own outcome-centric selling. The outcome-centric selling focuses more on not solution-based selling, but what outcome customer is looking for. So we built a checklist on those items, and then we use Zyme to make sure that how they put checks and balances to see how each rep is performing against that checklist. So when we started on this checklist, we were in 40 percentile. If you remember, Sanchit, when we started, and we set our target to 60% compliance on each of these checklist items. Today, I am happy to say that we are 90 plus over. On average, some guys are exceeding 100%. That means they're digging more pain. They're asking the right information. They're getting to understand customers' needs better. They offer to, they are succeeding in articulating Versa solution to the customers better. And doing that automatically, where they don't have to no longer after a meeting remember what the call was. They don't have to make meeting notes and then go to the Salesforce and enter the 25 or 30 questions for the medic manually, right? So this is all automated now for us. That gives sales rep 40 to 50 minutes time after every call, and then it's real information coming out of a real conversation with the real customer instead of something that coming off memory as an afterthought. So we learn from those. We identify where the gaps are. For example, timelines. If we're finding that the sales reps are not capturing that very well, we go back to reps and enable them on, guys, be aware of this. This is one of the factors that will keep the deal in the quality stage for a long period. Try to get information when the customer willing to implement this in 3 months, 6 months, this year, or beyond this year. And based on what the customer decision is, you define how you qualify the opportunity. So that's helping us considerably. So we're learning from those tools, AI information that's coming out of Zyme, and we're improving on sales enablement. And most recently, we are doing a very interesting integration with our LMS system, where the LMS system has a role play AI, where AI system acts as a customer. And the scenario, it's a good structure, but it's a blank structure. They don't have any information. They don't know how we sell. They don't know what typical customer needs are. They don't know what the typical questions or the objections customer throws at us and how we answer it. So we integrating Zyme with the LMS to come up with a role play solution which is automated with the AI that is powered by the data coming out of Zyme from the real conversations.
Right. Right. Yeah, I think the company context is very important. Without that, AI tools are just a blank slate. And I'm so glad to hear, Mickey, you were able to drive the behavior on the field.
It's making a difference.
Plus digging more pain. Now these are the behaviors that has been like, wish list for a lot of enablement leaders from trainings. And this is what you can drive with Zyme now, of course. Mickey, talk a bit more about like not just the behavior driving, right? How does it improve your early stage win rates? How does it improve your, you said one source of truth. How is marketing and sales, how are they getting aligned better? Or what are happening because of your reps taking pain better?
So when we implemented Zyme, our focus was early stage.
Right.
How do we improve productivity of early stage? How do you improve conversion of that pipeline faster, right, into the next stages, whether that is a proof of concept or whether it's a technical deep dive or a quote, whatever the next step in the process is, right? But to get to that stage, we need to know what is happening with those deals in the qualified stage. So what we did with Zyme was that focused on that very minutely. We looked into what is happening in these calls. How's the engagement level? How's the engagement from reps? How often they contact the customer? Was there a follow-up after the call? Did the customer attend the meeting? Was there an email conversation with the customer? What was the last time there was a conversation or a call with the customer? And all that visibility allows us to really comprehend what's going on with the deal. Maybe engagement is low, but really maybe reps is not doing this job. That's not really true. Reps are doing their job. They are contacting customer, but maybe the situation where customer is stonewalling and not answering. It happens to every sales rep sometime. How do you handle that? How do you differentiate a call where the gap is on our side or the gap is from a customer side? And the customer is not responding, let's find an alternate way to address that need. Find a different customer or whatever the next step in the process to improve on that is. But that visibility is very important, and it creates a lot of what I call single source of truth between multiple stakeholders within the organization, whether it's marketing, demand gen, sales leadership. It has a very good visibility of that one so that we all can actually rely on that as source of truth. However, one other thing that I do want to make a note, Sanchit, and it's very important for implementation of AI tools. You should never present this to the sales team as a big brother watching.
Yeah.
Okay. It should also come across as a sales productivity tool designed for the reps to help them improve better. That's one of the things we did very well, and that's why our adoption is so high. Our sales reps, about 90% of the reps are recording calls. There are certain reps who are in certain customers that doesn't want to be recorded, different thing, but 90% recorded calls is very good data. And we're getting those, and then we're also improving on sales guys looking into improve where the gaps are. So all that is helping very well because we presented that as their tool.
100% Mickey. And I watched it from the sidelines how you drove the organizational behaviors, because change transformation in organizations and behaviors at a scale to record the calls to drive adoption of a new tool is
Totally.
hard. It has to be done in a way that it does not crushes the soul of every sales team member, empowers them, and they are the basic concepts in the behavioral science to drive adoption.
Data is knowledge is power, right? And think that way, right? And you want to empower the reps, right? You want to empower the reps, and the more that empowerment goes to the ground level, the more successful you're going to be, right? Otherwise, it becomes almost that everything I do is being recorded, and then you feel like you exposed sometimes as a rep. And they should never feel like that. They should feel that this is a tool for them, and this is what we did. And this is where you need to make sure that when you implement AI tool, it's a cross-functional effort. Make sure your sales ops involved in the process. They are a very key component of this. Right?
Yes.
Sales ops manage the sales process and certain behavior they expect from the field. The sales leadership in terms of what their expectation is, but also reach out to some sales reps, learn
Yes.
from them what the best practices are, and then build that into the AI model.
That's right. That's what the AI is supposed to do. Vicky, how is that, like, what all has changed with this behavior change, right? So your adoption is high, your reps are taking more pain. How has that changed your boardrooms, your position in the boardrooms or at Versa in general?
I will say the biggest theme is visibility across the board. Sales rep has a better visibility of their pipeline. They can see what's happening. We all forget sometimes. You had a call with a customer, you talk to 10 customers a day, and then something falls through the crack. It's human to do that, right? But there are not many tools that tells you forgot to talk to this customer after like 90 days. You haven't, right? And then I've had a very experienced sales rep tell me, oh my God, I missed that. This was a good opportunity. Thanks for reminding me. I will look more often here, right? So
Yeah.
those are the things that helps the sales team better. And I think this is what our focus has been, to focus on the people in the field and making them more effective. Visibility for them, visibility for their managers, visibility for the sales ops, visibility for us in the sales enablement, visibility for the product marketing team in terms of how the messaging position is going, how the competitive landscape is, the product team, the leadership team, the executives, everybody. Sometimes I walk across and I see my CFO sitting there and listening to the Zime call. This is beautiful because we're all learning. Because sometimes we can never be in every call, and then this is where basically what I call information as you need, when you need, just in time. So if you want to look into a customer call that need executive intervention, you just send them the Zyme call details, and within summary, they can go through the whole thing. They can understand what the customer's needs are, and improves a lot of things. In the past, we used to have sales rep call a prep meeting and
Yeah.
for an hour to explain, and that's always his opinion on the situation. Now, this is the real information that you're sharing. If you want to bring in a subject matter expert or a executive to intervene in the sales motion, it's a great tool for us.
It is. And I'm insisting that visibility is the one thing that is solved on behaviors, and the visibility is because people can now easily understand the details, information on every call without having to listen to it because the insights are customized for Versa.
And you don't have to. For example, let's take example of product marketing. Okay, they need to know what customers saying about our product.
That's
They
right.
also need to know what the customer is saying about a competitor's product. For example, they need to know if the customers are happy with the existing solution they have, what problems they're having, so they can position, sharpen their marketing tools around it. And how would you do that typically? You will set up a call with some customers and then 1 hour interview and trying to make notes out of that one, right? But here on your fingertips, you have hundreds of calls. And you don't even have to listen to 1 hour of call. You can actually go right to that little piece of segment of the conversation that tells you about competitors, right? It's very productive across the board.
Perfect. And Mickey, how has this changed your role at Versa? Like we of course started a year or two back, and now, how do you see your role getting involved at Versa?
So a very good question, because when AI tools started, people think our jobs is going away now. AI is going to take over everything. It doesn't. Product marketing, for example, will still be there, but they will be powered by AI.
That's right.
Sales enablement sales will always be there, but it'll be powered by the AI. People like us who adopt to the change in the technology and AI benefits, we are going to be successful in being ahead of the technology or be growing with the technology. And if you don't, you'll fall behind.
That's right. It's a big wave, Mickey. Thank you for sharing this, and I love how you are driving effectiveness at Versa Networks for Versa Networks nuances, like in timelines across product lines, how that's creating visibility and how that's impacting every function, not just sales, but also like PMM, product, and so on.
Across the board, and we're happy so far with it. We're getting good results, we're getting actionable recommendation from the system. We can always improve, right? This work is never done.
That's
You continually improve. Every call you learn something, you improve on things, that you find gaps, or you want to change certain things in the process. So it's an ongoing experience, and we continue to grow with the AI tools like that.
yes, and we want to be your partner and keep building, making sure it's customized to your needs and getting things done. Looking ahead, Mickey, any advice you would like to give to enablement leaders who are dabbling with AI tools?
So first of all, selecting the right AI tool. That's very important, right? Making sure the tool that meets your requirements. Understand what your requirements are. And then when you're comparing the AI tools, don't go by the brand name. Don't go by the a spiel of a sales rep or marketing spiel. Look into product, test drive it, and see what kind of results you're getting before you make a decision. You want a tool that will help you improve your productivity. And once you select one, get involved in implementing it. It's like a blank. If you just leave it as an empty model, it will give you the similar results. The more information you enter, more you train the AI model of these tools based on your own unique business process, your sales process, sales methodology, your product line, your approach to selling, your customers. The AI tools will be better. So customize that, and also getting the internal stakeholders involved in this. Sales leadership, executive leadership, the marketing team, demand gen, sales ops, every ops, all these are very critical components of making this AI model better. Work with all of them, make it a collaborative effort and not just say, and again, use that as an ongoing learning process to improve on the sales enablement, how you're enabling the sales rep, because you always can improve on those things.
Thank you, Mickey. Mickey, you touched upon a very important point about uh, using the tool and putting information in it. How easy was it for you to configure Zyme? How much information you had to put in yourself in Zyme to customize it for your Versa's needs?
So all started with, for example, what are our requirements? What are our sales methodology? What are the what are different stages in the system? And some of those information is available, and we shared with you guys, and you guys are very good in deploying this. It's not that I had to sit in the system and keep entering information. I provided them requirements, and then you came back with a straw man. We looked at it, we improved on it, and continuously improve on it till we've got, right, this is good. Let's move on to the next thing.
Yes.
So it was very productive. I don't think It was painful experience for us. And while we're doing it, also open our visibility on our processes where we can improve our process too. So it's a two-way win for us.
Thank you, Mickey. I think we want to keep it so, make it hassle-free for you to keep learning and keep providing us your playbooks, your messaging, your product notes. So Zyme can keep getting trained on those and keep you hands off so you don't have to touch the system to enter information, but you get insights and you can iterate on those.
Exactly. And that's where the productivity piece comes in, right? We measure productivity for the sales team, we also measure performance, right? So having to do this extra work from sales top others, instead of that, you're getting these reports that is giving you information are already available that you can consume. It saves a lot of time for us trying to get the raw data, important Excel spreadsheet, massage, create some charts and so on. It's simple to have those information. Sometimes simplicity is the key. Keep it simple. Keep it easily understandable for everybody. So you start with a simple process and you expand as and make it as complicated I like, but I will hesitate from making it complicated.
Keep it simple. That's the motto.
That's right.
Well, Mickey, I'll bring this podcast to an end. It was great to learn all the insights from you and from your experience and see how effectively you are navigating Versa for more behaviors on the ground, more visibility, one source of truth, and doing it with a hassle-free with Zyme. Thank you for making time and thank you everybody else who has listened to this podcast and for joining us in. Do hit us up. I'm sure we are able to we will be able to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you.